Welcome in, everybody, to Viking News on Demand on this Thursday night. I'm sitting here alongside George Yarbrough, our athletic director here from Humboldt City Schools. It's been a little while since we've been able to have a show. We've wrapped up a football season. We're getting into basketball. There's been a lot of academic things going on as well, and it's maybe a little longer show today, George, but we've got a lot to share with the public.
Absolutely, Seth. It's a pleasure being here. It seems like it's been forever since we've been together on the radio to share some information regarding our school system. With our community and our listeners and our fans. So we're going to jump right in if you're good with that.
Let's do it.
All right. We wrapped up a very successful homecoming week. It was a non-traditional homecoming week, being that we had a fall break during that week.
Right.
But nevertheless, we made it through with a great deal of activities that we put on. Tailgating went very smooth. The ball game didn't go as planned, but the ball game was a very good ball game. About a quarter and a fourth.
Yeah.
We hung right in there with Trenton, and seemed like when we made our first turnover, then they kind of got off on a roll, and they didn't look back. I'll tell you, they didn't look back. So that whole homecoming experience, we were out of school. Things occurred, the bonfire occurred, and all the things that the community was involved in. We thank you for that, and we hope that next year's experience will kind of roll off the same way and do a few little things different regarding our scheduling. But we had to do what we had to do as a school district, because the safety of our students is number one, and then having the proper people there to pull off a week such as homecoming week is very important.
With redistricting and all in those situations, and I know we're not going to talk sports this side of it. Maybe we touch on that on the other side of the break here, but there are some questions that I have that I think we can work through with that and kind of start getting things out in front of the public. But I do think it was a great homecoming week, and you had the parade.
The parade. I didn't mention the parade.
Tailgating was good.
Tailgating was good.
A good crowd.
Good crowd on tailgating. Good experience. I think we had the classes that were represented. Several classes that were represented, that I called out during the halftime. And the halftime show during the football game, it went a little longer than expected. I think we were all getting a little anxious because Trenton's band was on display, and they had a really long halftime show, which run into the other things, and it threw us a little behind. But we're not worried about that. We always want to showcase students that are performing in our band athletically, and do the best we can in the recognition department to make sure that they're displaying their talents.
You know, I was very impressed with Peabody's band. I was very impressed with Halls's halftime show as well.
Yes.
I'm glad to see those halftime shows starting to come back, and I just want to give a shout out to our brand new band director.
Yeah.
That gentleman has done a lot in just about a week or two.
He has. Mr. Beard has, of course, he's coming from a school in Memphis, and he has a great just a mind for what bands should look like and what they should be working on. It's been a long time since we had a band of this magnitude, and we're adding members daily.
That's awesome.
We're going up with our numbers with our band, and I see them practicing after school. And it's good to hear cymbals and bass drums and horns after school hours, man. That lets you know that your band is working hard, and we're getting back to where it used to be.
Me and Chance talked about it in the Friday night broadcast this last week.
Yeah.
Mr. Beard was complimented at Riverside by the fans of Riverside.
Absolutely.
They had posted on social media. I don't know if you've seen it or not. They had posted, that the class of the players and also just the band was very entertaining, was what they said. And just keeping that out there. And Mr. Beard commented he had only been in the job a few days, but just keep your eye on Humboldt Band because it's coming back.
And I'm gonna play spoiler a little bit. I know this information is gonna go out there, but I'm gonna kind of take Mr. Beard's thunder for just a second. But November the 19th, I think we'll be performing in a Christmas parade.
Okay.
So I don't know where, I don't know when, and I know we'll be performing in the Veterans Day parade. So all that is to come, and you will see our band visual a little bit more, and see how they're going to be performing. And they're working hard, and I love it.
Yeah.
The numbers are going up. Band director that's committed to making sure that our student athletes and our band members are really working hard to perform and make the community proud of the sound that the band puts out.
Well, that's and the sound. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Because it does sound different. It's not the traditional high school marching band sound.
Right.
But what he's bringing to us, it's kind of I don't know how you would describe it. I'd love to get to sit down with him, and I do plan to do that soon.
Okay.
Maybe release some sort of a special here on Viking News on Demand. But I'd like to sit down and talk to him about where is that soul coming from? Is he going to try to bring a Memphis style to us? Like what's his thought process as we kind of morph this band into something different?
Exactly. I think he's taking a little bit of I don't know, for lack of better terms, he's taking a little bit of genre from each type of music that he performances that he has in the back of his mind, and he's pulling them together to pull off some pretty good sound and some exciting, upbeat things on the soul tip. Some of it's on the traditional tip, and some of it is just marching band tunes that you fight songs that are traditional to bands playing during ball games and parade music. And I would like to say that I do know the identification of how he is actually selecting numbers, but I can't say that I know that. So let's get him on, Seth, in a couple of weeks maybe when he gets his feet on the ground, because as you said, he's only been here about a week and a half.
Isn't that something?
So far, and he has done, I mean, he's come a long way.
Yeah.
But that's not to undermine the young lady that held us together while we were in search for a band member, and that's Miss Katrina Smith.
Yes.
Katrina is a former band member, and I think she marched under the direction of, I want to say, Mr. Kelt?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Kelts. And it shows.
That was when Humboldt's band was at its finest.
It shows that Humboldt was a high-performing, high-level band at the time of his direction, and Miss Katrina was under that leadership. And with that combined with Mr. Beard, I think you're going to the sky's the limit with our band, and the best is yet to come.
Sounds good.
The best is yet to come.
I didn't mean to hijack you there. I just
that's okay.
We
okay.
heard a lot about the band, and it's just continuing to grow, and we're excited about that.
Absolutely.
You've got some other events here you want to highlight as
well?
Yeah,
let's highlight some things. We had our college and career fair that occurred at our high school. Don't know the exact date of that. I could probably pull it up, but for lack of time, that was a couple of weeks ago. We had about 15 to 20 colleges, 15 to 20 hairstyle schools, and just businesses that came out in our gym, and our juniors and seniors, and then our 8th graders were able to go through our college and career fair. And that was a hard work put on by Miss Miyoshi Brooks. She is our college recruitment coordinator for our district. And she does a fine job of keeping our students on track, especially our seniors, getting our juniors prepared for college and getting them thinking about college, or if not college always, just a career in a technical education type of endeavor once they leave high school. So hats off to Miss Miyoshi Brooks. I know our guidance counselor, Miss Erica Hamilton, was extremely involved in that process as well. But our college and career fair, it went across very good. And I want to say that occurred October the 20th.
It did. 2 weeks
October
ago
the
today.
20th. 2 weeks ago today, we were graced with military. We were graced with colleges, universities, hair schools, businesses, industries, and it was a fun day at Humboldt High School, and to get our students involved in those career and technical educations post high school was just something to see. So we appreciate that. I also want to go to the our website here as well, Seth, and talk a little bit about our TCAP student portal.
Okay.
For those that don't know, I'm going to share a little information about that. And let me get pulled up here in just a second. If I can put my password in correctly. Sometimes I have a little difficulty putting my password in. Here we go. But yeah, we want to talk just a little bit about what we got going on with our TCAP student portal. It is a portal that you can go to and really see how your students are doing and have done performing, and how they performed on last year's TCAP.
Yeah.
So that is a process. If you go to our website, let me move my mic over a little bit. I hope the listeners can still hear me. Let's see here. Where are we at here? There it is. Okay. They can find information. It's 3-step entry process to find information to navigate your students' TCAP results and how you can actually set up ways to assist them with TCAP and contact your school. But you, as a parent, can go through that student portal and set up you some information and actually know and learn more about the TCAP score, where and how the your student performed. And the information is all there, and it's an easy navigation system as well. So test scores are so important, and we want to actually encourage our parents to get involved. And the TCAP student portal instructions are on our website. Please go to our website and see it. It's about midways down, and it's right smack dab in the middle of the our Humboldt City Schools COVID-19 protocol that was updated with revisions for the 2022 year, and our sports schedule. So it sits right there in the middle, and it's the key TCAP student portal. So we encourage parents to go to that and check it out. We just come off a 2-day PD, October the 31st and November the 1st. We were at the Medical Center, Seth, and we had PDs throughout our district. And these are stockpile days that our superintendent has been having. She started that process last year, but she wants those days for us to just sit down, take a break from kids, and look at data and see how we're doing.
Yeah.
To encourage us, to get us revived again, to push the reset button. We had a great day this past Monday and Tuesday at the medical center, and then we had breakout sessions at the high school and the East Elementary and the different schools within our district. And Pastor Montgomery, my pastor, he done a motivational speech to open it up on Monday morning, the 31st, and it was actually excellent. I mean, it gets you back in the mood of thinking that, why we're here.
Yeah.
We easily can be overwhelmed.
Sure.
We can easily get burnt out. But if we have the right tools and the proper support, that, man, I tell you, we can move our kids up the ladder with test scores. We can work on different strategies. We can look at different data that we need to look at to see what we need to do in order to move our students up the ladder and to get them at a level of functioning academically that they should be at. And that was what those 2 days were used for. So we enjoyed those 2 days, and it was actually good days for us to wind down, to just take a relax and look at some things outside, and to do some self-care as well, because it's important in education. If you don't take care of yourself, then you can't teach and instruct the proper way. So self-preservation is definitely one of those things that we did hit on as well regarding our academics and instruction and how we deliver our instruction to our students. I want to talk also a little bit about the Affordable Connecting Program. You can also find it on our website. I think it's at the bottom here. It's just a connectivity program, and it's entitled FCC, and that program helps families connect to households that are struggling to afford internet services.
Yeah.
So if you need internet services and you don't have that in place, or you're struggling with what do you currently have, you can go to that FCC program, Affordable Connectivity Program. It's a place to where it's a link you can click on our website and find out if you're eligible. And it's also user friendly if you are needing to look at it in another language, such as Spanish. It is also there for you in Spanish as well, and it is just a good resource that we have tapped into. It's called the Affordable Connectivity Program, and it's just an FCC program that helps you connect to internet, affordable internet, and it really gets you linked up to those airways and keeps you connected to a lot of different things that social media has to offer. And I will say, on the positive tip, we want families to know that internet is a great resource, but
Yes.
we have to be using that positively as well, so we can be connected to information and be up to date with things that are going on. And of course, the World Wide Web is one of those ways that we connect.
Yes.
And this is an affordable way to do so for those households that are struggling. So
Sure.
encourage you to do that. And then I also want to mention the information about our PEBT funds for Humboldt City Schools.
Okay.
Please continue looking for that. That is the funds that are set up by card for families. During the pandemic, they've continued doing that. So you should have had your cards loaded with funding that that will allow us to have a service and a affordable way to get some extra food in the house for those students that's needing that. And it's a great program. Hats off to our government and the state of Tennessee for recognizing that during that time we're still kind of recovering, and we still need that extra funding for food and things of that nature, because a healthy body is a healthy mind.
That's
and,
right.
We'd like to feed our kids and make sure that they have the proper nutrition needed. So please, it's a link that you can click to access the PEBT funds for Humboldt City School students, and you can find more information about that if you just go to our website. Okay.
All right. Excellent.
We're getting into a time of the year where it's Thanksgiving, leading on into Christmas. Had a great harvest season and Halloween. But it's the time where you reach out to those that are less fortunate as well.
Sure.
And it's a time where our Christmas season is upon us, and we like to reach out and we like to assist during that time as well. So there's going to be a lot of different ways that you can access services. Humboldt City Schools does not access or reach out to students or families directly, but we do work with all the services around our community that are assisting with students, and we help to identify that, and we help you link up to some resources that's going to assist you during the Christmas season. So if you are having any questions about that, or you need assistance with anything and you don't know of services that's out here that's offered, please give us a call here at our Family Resource Center, who I'm the director of. That number is 731-784-2652, and ask for George Yarbrough. We can link you up to some of those services within our community where you can get the assistance needed, or you can apply for the services that are out there that will assist you during this season. I know it's a bike program that we're going to roll out with East End that we done last year. Been in touch with Miss Debbie Sheehan, who's the principal at East Elementary, and I think it's a third grade program that will be getting you more information on third graders on how to get a bike.
All right.
So that's going to be a fun time. We're going to always need people to help put the bikes together. I think we received about 75 to 100 bicycles about a month ago, and they're stored and they're waiting to be put together. So if there's anybody out there wanting to volunteer to help us put together bikes, please reach out to me, reach out to Miss Debbie Sheehan at East Elementary. She can direct you in the path of myself, or just let you know how we're going to roll out the details on how we're going to get some bikes put together for our third grade readers, and rewarding them for such a powerful, what's the word I'm looking for, a powerful way to win a bike by learning while you actually can gain a reward such as a bicycle. And it's just awesome that we can do that. And I want to give a shout out to Dr. Gina. Dr. Gina is really an instrumental part of that process, and we love the support and the commitment that she has to education and the students of Humboldt. So that's going to be more information to roll out there a little bit later on down the line regarding our bikes. Okay?
Awesome.
And then let's talk about a little renovations around our school district. I know you're seeing a lot. Let's brag about those marquees that are up now.
Boy, don't that look nice.
I think they look absolutely wonderful. Our marquees are at every
Sure.
school, and we are excited about information that our parents can ride by and see.
Yeah.
We have grown to be a school that is getting you information out in several different ways. You can get it via marquee, our website, calling the school, directing you to different venues and different
Yeah.
ways to access information. So there's no reason why we shouldn't know what's going on in our school district. You'll get an all call every now and then when things are happening.
Sure.
You'll get notifications with our sports programs with a team app. And the age of technology is just, we're right in the smack dab in the middle of it. And
Yeah.
anything you're needing to know, it can be accessed, and it can be even more specific and detailed, with some different apps that we have set up for you, or just by visiting our website. It's a beautiful website. Once
Yeah.
again, Ginger Carver has done a fine job of posting information about current events that are going on in our school,
Sure.
and headlines and features about upcoming events and everything that's happening in our school district. You can go to our website and find out.
Fantastic.
We're having roof work done over at Stigall, so you'll see the guys working on the roof at Stigall. It's constantly being renovated and upgraded to have a good, safe building for our students that attend Stigall Primary School, pre-K through first. And it's an awesome place to it's continual upgrades is happening, and we want to make that building a very eye friendly place to look at,
Sure.
as well as a safe place to occupy. So I know we got the floor done inside the gym. Actually, our high school volleyball team has used this gym inside. And our basketball teams on the girls' side of things are practicing. Junior high and high school girls are practicing in the afternoons at Stigall. So we love to see our buildings upgraded, and we love for our kids to experience those safe and nice venues to practice in and to
Yes.
occupy.
Yes.
And it goes without saying that you have to have the proper facility
Sure.
in order to learn properly. So we're doing that. And
Wonderful.
it's hats off to our superintendent for looking out for us regarding the finances, our bookkeeper and our cabinet for really, really looking into things that
Sure.
can upgrade our facilities and upgrade our building, as well as our academics and everything that goes along with educating the whole child.
Yes, sir.
Bathroom work is going on at the high school, as well as our library is being renovated. Now, that library has been in a dire strait for quite some time. As you know, we're not having board meetings in the library anymore since we are renovating the library. But the guys showed up this week, and they began doing the floors and tearing out the carpet so we could get
Nice.
new carpet. But from what I understand and talked to our safety and building coordinator, Victor Horton, materials are so tough to come
Yes.
up with and
Yes.
to get in, and they're so back ordered that things just take a while. Materials
do.
take a while getting to your facility when you've ordered something. So that is going on. We're having bathrooms renovated at our CTE building. It's just a lot of things going on at the high school and Stigall. And East, I think, is probably the most stable building in the whole process.
Sure.
East is going on as strong regarding renovations. I know our custodians was over the last couple of days. They've done some deep cleaning with our cafeterias and our gymnasiums, and things are just moving right along. And we appreciate all the hard work that's put into our facilities, all the hard work that's put into the staff to make that happen. And our lighting is a little bit better at our high school. If you've walked by and noticed, or if you've driven by and noticed, or dropped a child off, our lighting at our high school is much better. We've cut some trees. We're working on getting our breezeway done, and just getting it upgraded to a safer environment when it comes to trees and building and lighting. So
Sure.
we want our people that are visiting our schools to be, to be safe and feel safe, because
Yeah.
our community is our school and our school is our community. And we want to welcome everyone to our school and make sure that it's a safe place to be. And the last thing I want to mention, Seth, as far as school news, is our ACT 21 Club has been posted for the academic success of those students that have scored a 21 on the ACT. So another, again, hats off to Miss Miyoshi Brooks, who has constantly been working with our students, not only to upgrade scores and to try to get them signed up for ACT, but Miss Erica Hamilton is also the guidance counselor who's done a fine job of getting ACT prep courses in order and rolling out things that prepare our students for college and ACT preparation, and very excited about the whole process of what's going on academically at Humboldt City Schools in general, but those things that are going to get our students successful in post-secondary education, and
yes, sir.
We're rolling in the right track.
Yes, sir, definitely so. You got anything else as far as school news before we take a break here?
I think that's it with school news. Okay. I'll have more next week, and I want to get back into the flow of just letting you guys know. Going to talk a little bit about Students of the Month, and going to mention those next time. And
right.
We're just going to get a little bit more vigilant in letting you, our listeners, know what's going on in our schools, from academics to renovations to safety and everything that's centered around the overall operation of our school.
All right. Well, we got a ball game that's going on right now, and obviously this has been pre-recorded because I have to be there at the ball game taking pictures, and George has to be very heavily involved in that, all that stuff as well. So we want to make sure that you're aware there is still a ball game going on. Now, it's not in Humboldt tonight. It is at Lake County, so it's up in Ridgely, Tennessee. And you have to know where that's at to get there. So you're either headed to Tiptonville and you go through it, or you're headed to Ridgely.
Exactly.
That's right. My. We'll be right back, folks. Viking News on Demand. Our main sponsor is the Viking Booster Club. Everybody else has a commercial, but the Viking Booster Club opts not to. But we could not do this without them. I want to say a great big thank you to Chance Baskerville and folks there. We will be right back, folks. You're watching Viking News on Demand, the school news show on this Thursday, November the 3rd.
The Humboldt Public Library is a strong community partner providing programs and services that bring people together, foster creativity, and encourage lifelong learning. We preserve our storied past, enrich present lives, and prepare for an ever-changing future. We offer programs for adults and children, a collection of over 30,000 books, and provide access to the latest technology. Come visit us at your community library at 115 South 16th Avenue in Humboldt, or follow us on Facebook or visit humboldtpublic.org.
Good Old Cooking, located at 5882 Graball Road in Milan, Tennessee, is your one-stop shop for the best food in West Tennessee.
So good.
Open Thursdays and Fridays from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. To check out this weekend's specials, visit them on their Facebook page, or you can pick up the phone and call 731-238-2073. 731-238-2073. Good Old Cooking, proudly supporting your Humboldt Vikings.
So good and tasty.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Baskerville Funeral Home, and everything will be taken care of. Baskerville Funeral Home, Directors of Distinction. Our family serving your family.
Because I love the environment, I love the people, and it's a great place to work, and the pay is great.
The daycare, transportation that pick you up, it's easy to move up in Tyson. You need to come work for Tyson.
Tyson Foods is an equal opportunity employer. Vets Disability.
G&K Defense is the perfect place for firearm training. Pistol and rifle courses are offered from the basic entry level up to advanced levels. Gun Ownership 101 is specifically for first-time gun owners and emphasizes safety and familiarization. A concealed carry basic course is essential in learning how to carry, draw, and shoot. Contact them today by emailing jason@gnkdefense.com, or you can call them by phone at 931-237-4550. G&K Defense, conveniently located at 110 North Central Avenue in Humboldt, Tennessee. Go Vikings!
Nothing brings community together quite like a sporting event. Security Bank and Trust Company is committed to supporting our local sports teams because we know how important it is to be part of a great team. This is Deanne McEwen at Security Bank and Trust Company. When you team up with us, you are fostering the competitive spirit of our local athletes. Want to be part of our team? Join our amazing banking community. Visit your nearest branch or head to securitybanktn.com to learn more. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
We'd like to remind folks that Humboldt only has one local history source published each week, the Humboldt Chronicle. Local government and education issues, crime and justice, people you know in the news, sports, features, and more each week at your fingertips in the print edition or online. Stop by their office at 2606 East End Drive, Humboldt, or give them a call at 731-784-2531. The Humboldt Chronicle. Nobody covers Humboldt like the Chronicle.
Hi, I'm David from Willis Notary Services. In 1787, Benjamin Franklin inscribed on the back with a penny, "Mind your affairs." It means take care of your business. While needing a notary isn't a daily occurrence in many people's lives, when the time comes, Willis Notary Services wants to be the first on your mind. So when it's time to handle your business, call me at 731-414-0485. And on behalf of my family, all Vikings, Tamiko class of 94, Tamila class of 12, Deja class of 19, and David class of 2022, Willis Notary Services sends light, love, and blessings to our superintendent, the administration, faculty, staff, and our students as we keep climbing to be a better Humboldt. Let's go, Vikes.
For over 100 years, the Centennial Bank family has been there when you needed them. Whether starting a new business, buying a new home, or opening a new checking account, your friends at Centennial Bank are there to provide the best banking experience for you. Stop by your local branch or visit their website, www.mycentennial.bank. Centennial Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back into Viking News on Demand on this Thursday night, November the 3rd, and we're talking about sports. I've got a feeling we're probably going to talk football first just to kind of wrap that up, and then we got a lot of basketball to talk here.
That's right. Let's talk a little bit about our junior high football. We wrapped up junior high football some time ago.
Right.
We are absolutely thrilled to know that we had 4 young men.
I've got that here.
You got that, Seth?
Tyon Campbell.
Tyon.
Kelsey Rose. I'm looking here. Tyreek Boykin. And then we had
Amarion Young. Yes, sir. Those 4 gentlemen made it. They were selected and nominated. Let me reverse that. They were nominated and selected to perform in an all-star game, and that all-star game will actually be happening on Saturday at TCA.
Okay.
And we're excited that those gentlemen were chosen.
Yeah.
Now, Tyon was our quarterback.
Right.
Kelsey Rose, I think Kelsey was our wide receiver, and I think he played a little tight end. Amarion was a lineman, and Tyreek was a safety and also a tight end as well. So those gentlemen performed very well on the junior high field throughout the year, and that's those are nominations by coaches from other schools.
Okay.
We send in the nominations and they select, and it's quite an honor for those young men to be a part of that. Now 3 of the 4 play basketball as well.
All right.
So we're excited that they are continuing to continue to play as many sports as they can and perform on all levels and perform well on all levels, and we were excited that we'll get to see that game. That'll be occurring over at TCA on Saturday, and Saturday is what date, Seth?
Okay, Saturday would be November the 6th.
November the 6th.
Actually, wait just a minute. Let me double check that. because I said that. No, it's November the 5th.
November the 5th.
Yeah, 6th is on Sunday. So
at TCA,
10 a.m.
they'll be playing, and it'll be 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Is that right?
It may be. I have not seen a time on the
Okay.
game. I just saw where they had selected the kids.
Right.
But I thought it was a 10 o'clock game, but it may not be. It may be night. Is that a night game?
I
over at
thought it
TCA?
was at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Let me get the right information on that, and then we will make sure we post that on our website for all our listeners.
Okay.
Because that is a very important event that we want to get our kids out to.
Definitely.
And we'll make that happen. Okay.
All right.
Let's talk a little bit about. Hats off to our coaching staff on the
Yes.
junior high team as well. Greg Lennon in his first head coaching experience done
Yes.
a pretty good job. Didn't make it to the playoffs this year, but we always have next year, and he had a pretty good showing this year. He run into a buzzsaw on a couple of schools bigger than us, but we held our own, and we will look forward to seeing the junior high football team develop and get even better as his tenure continues as head coach for our junior high football team along with his staff. Let's talk a little bit about our football season on the high school level. Last year at this time we were getting geared up to go to the first round of the playoffs.
That's right.
This year didn't happen that way.
No.
We kind of fell to a couple of teams in our region early on. West Carroll.
Yeah.
We did beat Greenfield.
Yeah.
Also Lake County, and the most recent that would have solidified us a chance had we beaten either Halls or had we either beaten Greenfield, which we did, or West Carroll.
Yeah, West Carroll's that big game.
West Carroll was the big game. Halls beat us in a just a tale of two halves, I think.
Yeah.
This past Friday night, look up at the scores, 26-10 at the start of the third quarter, and then don't think we score it all the rest of the game.
Now, anything ever come out of the? I know there was a little bit of both sides.
Right.
There was. We had about 15-20 minutes there where referees had to slow things down, separate teams, talk to coaches. There was even taunting coming from the stands.
Right.
It was just. I was kind of embarrassed where adults were acting like kids,
Exactly.
and then that doesn't help the kids to act good on the field either.
It kind of is transferable.
Yeah.
You know, when your crowd and parents and spectators are in the stands and they're yelling at the players, it tends to transfer to the players, and that action is then brought out on the field. But nevertheless, I did enter the field in the third quarter, toward the middle to the end of the third quarter. Started the fourth quarter with our team because for about 20 minutes there was a stoppage in play.
Yeah.
And we had to get penalties and sort it out, and we had to kind of calm some fans down, some players down. There was a player ejection from Halls. Unfortunately, we did not get a player ejection. I think one was announced on the PA system, but
it wasn't right.
It was not right. I want to clarify that with all our listeners. Humboldt did not get anyone ejected in that ball game.
And that was because of your coach. The coach pulled the player off, which is what he should have done.
Exactly.
The other team's coach was too hot, and he was out there arguing and didn't know his player was about to get ejected.
Exactly.
And while he was talking to the ref, another ref ended up throwing that player out. So hats off to Coach Pettigrew for his handling of the situation as well.
He handled a very testy situation very professionally, and hats off to him, as you said, Seth, because in the heat of competition, we have to remember that we still have to remain cool, calm, and collected. We can't let our emotions get the best of us, even if it is football, where contact is a primary source of strategy on the field. I just want to commend our players. We had to just kind of pull our players off to the side, kind of get in their faces a little bit and tell them, this is football. This is a competitive game that we need to play and respect. Respect the game by playing and not doing all the extra mouthing and all the extra antics that can get you some penalties and can push you back a few yards and cause you to lose the game. So I think that emotion and all of the chaos did have a factor and did play a part in us actually losing that game.
I believe
to
it
be
did.
very honest
I
with
do
you.
too.
And if nothing else, I want my football team to understand how you have to conduct yourselves, even when things are not going so well, even when you think you're being treated unfairly. There's still a certain amount of professionalism you must have, and you have to let your coaches do their job and fight those battles with the referees and do it in a way that is, that's fair, and do it in a way that's respectful. Because I know everything in the heat of the moment can roll south pretty quick. So
That's right. That's right.
Nevertheless, that game did officially, even before we started that game, I think on the other side of town, West Carroll had to beat Peabody in order for us to even have a shot at going to the playoffs, and we had to beat Hall.
And they were getting beat at one point 30-something to nothing. I mean, there was no shot of getting in when all of this transpired. Now, there's no way for the coaches to know that on the sideline.
Right.
But, I mean, they're there to play a game and want to still win no matter what. Better luck next season. The good thing is you only had just a handful of seniors on this team. So a lot of these players are going to come back, and they're going to be ready to play. And they're not going to be a whole lot of seniors, I don't think, next year.
No, it's not, Seth. We're pretty much a sophomore, junior oriented team.
Yeah.
And a good freshman class that come in.
That's right.
And to let you know for sure, it's a couple of those players that didn't play that have played junior high football that we're going to be seeking out and making sure we put them in a football uniform and get them back to status as well. So. Again, a less than desirable football season because you didn't make the playoffs, but nevertheless, it's a lot of learning experiences that we can take from this season, from these games. It was a lot of impactful plays that were the difference in us winning and losing. In some close games, and you talk West Carroll, there's a 10-6 score, right?
Yeah.
And then you're looking at Halls is 27-26.
Yep.
And Greenfield, we did end up winning that game. We won against JCM, which JCM was they were not in our conference. They were actually put in the first year for competition on the TSSAA level.
Sure.
And a couple of things there if you factor in how we lost, and then who we lost to. It could have gone either way, and I think we got the short end of the stick. But the main thing, Seth, it should be a learning experience for us to move forward next year and know when situations like these present themselves that you have to handle it with a good attitude, and you have to handle it with a winning spirit and a respectful spirit. And that could mean the difference in winning and losing and overcoming some adversity that you experience. So
that's right. Well, you talk about a football team and the season this year. You get a whole brand new schedule for another 2-year period next year. And that brings up the questions we had before the break. And we'll bring them to you now. And you played the likes of Lausanne. You played Grace Christian.
Right.
No, those games don't knock you out of the playoffs unless you have all these ties.
Right.
Does that play in when we're scheduling for the next couple of years? Is who we bring in?
I'll say this, Seth. We've already started scheduling. I've been on the phone with Coach Pettigrew on a number of occasions, and we're really being selective about our scheduling.
Yeah.
Now, once again, we scheduled Lausanne and Grace Christian Academy because we were short some games, and our transition was a bit difficult and uncharacteristic, untraditional.
Yeah.
All those UN words that you could use to where we didn't get a legitimate schedule and a full schedule out.
Yeah.
Because it was we were in the transition of hiring a head coach, and you want to schedule as much as you can, and then when he gets on board, you want him to be able to schedule his own games. And that didn't happen like it should have a couple of years ago. So now, finally, we're looking at scheduling. We're looking at scheduling teams. I think that's going to be that fly out of here.
I know.
I killed him earlier.
It's about to drive us crazy.
Yeah, but we're looking at scheduling teams that we have a couple on the fence. I'm not gonna Not going to
Sure.
mention any teams that we have yet, but I think our community, our coaching staff, our school will be proud of the schedule we put out, because they're all going to be games that are we're used to playing, that we're comparable to size and numbers regarding our class system, and we're just going to be very, very intentional in scheduling this year, and we're on it. I'll put it like this: we're on it, and we're going to do what it takes to get the games that we need to get, and those that with those powerhouses that we played in the past, like Lausanne and Grace Christian Academy, we're going to stay away from those.
Yeah.
Those were, for lack of better terms, we had to play games.
And they were
we had to get
momentum
someone.
killers.
Yes,
in the
they
season.
are.
You know,
they are.
It can get in your head. You know,
Yeah, it
you had a
gives
rough
morale.
stretch.
It
You had a
does.
rough stretch there when you knew you had Riverside, you had Peabody. I mean, let's be honest. Riverside game was a tough game. We played well.
Yeah.
But that was another one of those games. It's like you're playing schools that are almost twice your size sometimes.
Exactly.
Or scholarship schools, and you get into some things there, especially in football, unlike any other sport. You know, you can get by with it sometimes in basketball.
You can.
Baseball and, volleyball. But when you start talking, you're putting, that many kids on the field, and they can just rotate them in and out.
Exactly.
It's just hard. Those games are so tough.
They're tough games.
Good hats off again. This coaching staff, Pettigrew and his staff, has just done a great job navigating through that.
They have.
And he says, "Hey, why not play Peabody on homecoming?" That was his.
You have to play them anyway. So homecoming was just the way it fell due to the dates that we had, and we're going to get a little bit closer to the calendar committee this year, and we're just going to go at things a little different and try to schedule a little bit smarter than we did this past year. And I'm going to just let that be a priority amongst us. It's things that we need to work on.
Sure.
I want to always be transparent and let the listeners know that there are things that we need to work on, and community, we hear you. We know that you're wondering, why are we doing this and why are we doing that? Well, sometimes the things are out of our control, and we have to do what we have to do, and we do it for a reason. We just don't pull it out of the air and say, okay, we're going to do this. It's always a reason, and we were kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place the way things had rolled out this year, but I promise everyone we're gonna make a diligent effort to do things a little bit smarter and a little bit better. Not that they weren't smart, but they were
just a different mindset.
Just a different mindset and things that we had to do and the way we had to do it. So with that being said, I'm gonna move on and say, hey, you got something to look forward to next year with scheduling, with football season, and just stay tuned and stay with us and continue to support us.
So, obviously, were you all planning to do kind of like these NFL teams do? Not that they tell you what dates, what games are, but once the schedule is solidified, do you plan to maybe release just here's who we're playing this year? Or?
Yeah, I want to do something different this year. I'm going to have a poster, a scheduled poster made this year.
Wonderful.
I'm going to get it out early. We're going to get some sponsors, and we're going to put that football schedule out so people will know and they can plan, because with the events going on with homecoming, with the events going on with our senior nights, we can really easily start to prepare and have that set in stone. We've gotten information from TSSAA on Thursday night games and how we need to schedule. So we need to be looking at some things that we need to do, and with the shortage of referees, that's a factor, and I didn't mention that earlier, but thus the Thursday night game, because of the shortage in referees, and
I kind of like those.
I do too. Hey, that wasn't a bad night. It's almost like you got a bye week.
That's right. That's
right. So you get that bye week, and then you get that Thursday night game, and you have that Friday off again. So there's two games where you have Friday nights, you're unoccupied, and you can see somebody, and you can go scout.
That's right.
Yeah, we're looking into doing things just a bit different, and seeing how our requirements are coming down and what's coming down from the top state office, TSSAA, and then we'll govern ourselves accordingly. So.
That sounds good, and hopefully those Gleason Bulldogs end up back on that schedule.
Yeah, we got to get Gleason. We're talking to Gleason. We're talking to Fulton City out of Kentucky, Fulton County out of Kentucky.
Some teams we've played before.
Yeah, teams we've played before, and we've went there, and it's just going to like
It's
as I
easier to get
said,
teams on schedule that you already have a relationship with.
Exactly.
You're talking to those
exactly.
ADs all the time.
All the time. You're in a conversation with them,
Yep.
and you're trying to schedule, and
Sure.
it's going to happen. It's
All
gonna
right.
happen.
Well, we move to inside because the weather is changing, and so the fall sports and winter sports have moved in.
They are here.
Junior high basketball started just a week or so ago as we hosted Dyersburg. It was on was that a Tuesday night? It was a Tuesday night.
We did. We hosted Dyersburg Tuesday night, home. That was our first home game. But prior to that, the 20th and the 24th, we had a preseason scrimmage over at Crockett County,
That's right.
girls and boys, and then had a jamboree at Northview Middle School where we faced Ripley. And hey, our junior high team is they're coming out of the gate. They're doing well. They're doing well.
Yeah. Now, the first game against Dyersburg did not turn out well
It
for
did
either
not.
team.
It
And the
didn't.
girls, I was kind of surprised at
Yeah.
how the play of the girls was. You didn't lose a lot of people off those teams.
You didn't.
But I did see somebody new on the sideline, by the way.
Yeah.
I saw a familiar face. Coach Chandra Macklin, I saw you. I knew you were there.
She's actually back in the arena of coaching basketball with
Yeah.
Coach Green.
Yeah.
And, we're excited to have Coach Macklin back on the floor, on the sideline. Brings a lot to the sideline.
She does.
Brings a lot to our girls regarding just that etiquette and just that presence on how you should conduct yourself, not only as an athlete but as a young lady.
And those
So,
girls, when they played Dyersburg, it was not a Coach Green style game at all.
Right,
You could
right.
tell him. I think he even got a sideline warning there.
He
'cause
did,
was
he
getting pretty
did.
upset. And to be honest with you, I was having to watch myself because I was down there trying to take pictures, and I'm like, this is just not us. We weren't. You could tell it was game one. It felt like maybe the preseason didn't accomplish what it needed to with us, to be honest.
Right.
Just kind of shooting from the hip today. But when they played TCA, it was like two different teams.
It
so
was.
what did we learn, George, from the Dyersburg game to the TCA game?
Well, I tell
from the
you,
girls' side.
Exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head. When you preparation.
Yeah.
When you do a preseason scrimmage, you learn what you have to learn. The learning curve sometimes is quick.
Yep.
And then sometimes the learning curve, it takes a little bit longer to catch on to what you need to do to make adjustments.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Dyersburg, I think there was a fear factor regarding the girls.
Okay.
And with the guys, I just think we couldn't get over the hump, just simply because it's early.
Yeah.
You're going to make those mistakes early on that you normally wouldn't make at the mid part of the season.
Yeah.
And if you prepare a little bit sooner, you're a little sharper.
Yeah.
When you are, you're better prepared. So it's all relative, and I think it's all a part of the learning process. The learning curve is taking place, and we are getting to the point to where mistakes that are obvious to maybe the fans, the parents, or the crowd is a little bit more challenging for our students, athletes.
Right.
So it's just I think time is a big factor on a lot of things regarding athletics. So,
and you got a brand new head coach on the junior high boys
yeah.
side. Let's talk that as well. Mr.
Yeah.
Jeremy Vonner is in there now. Stephen Shivers is still sitting alongside him.
Right, Coach Shivers is still there.
Let's talk about how that transpired as far as Coach Vonner was brought into the system.
Yes.
And then next thing I know, he's standing there as your head junior high boys basketball coach.
Right. Well, Coach Vonner brings a lot of experience to the game of basketball. But how it worked was I consult with my head coach, which is Coach Abernathy.
Yeah.
Coach Abernathy, he runs a very good program. He runs a basketball program. It's not just basketball for the sake of playing and putting people in positions. He does it with intentionality, and he does it the way he feels like he needs to do it. So, with that being said, he moved some pieces. He moved some pieces around.
Yes, he did.
And he put Coach Ingram in right under him, and deservingly, he moved him up to where he needed to be on the varsity level.
Yeah.
He put Coach Vonner in, having his experience with his past South Gibson and other places that he's coached. And then he kept Steve Shivers where he was, and he just kind of moved some pieces around. And, with change and transition comes adjustments that need to be made, and getting comfortable with who's in charge and and
Yeah.
who's running the ship. And I think we'll get that. We'll develop that relationship where they get to know him.
Yep.
Our junior high team, they've known Coach Ingram for a long time.
Yes, they have.
So now that Coach Vonner is on board, Coach Vonner brings a different demeanor. He brings a different attitude. It's a different personality there that our kids have to
Yes.
get used to. And
Yes.
these are all things that factor into just the flow of the game and the flow of how things go on the basketball floor. And we'll get there.
And I think coaching
We'll get there.
styles, they're polar opposites.
Exactly.
Coach Bonner, I don't know that he sat down the entire night.
He's always up. He's always constantly teaching.
Yes.
And he wants to be involved in every play.
Yep.
Whereas Coach Ingram, he felt, he had the relationship with the kids where he could sit down and direct them from the seat. But when he needed to get up, you
He
knew,
sure did.
hey, you knew
Yeah.
you were in trouble.
Yep, yep.
You knew it was something that y'all are not doing that we need to start doing.
Well, he's
So,
taking on the temperament of the main guy.
exactly.
Abernathy's that kind of coach.
He is.
He will sit down, but now he don't mind to stand up and let you know what you did wrong, or he'll
Right.
go to bat for you with the referee or whatever. You know,
it's-
I think you take on that temperament, and I
Mhm.
wonder. I think it's going to be interesting to watch how Coach Vonner changes a little bit.
He will.
Because as players change, coaches change as well when they start learning what's working with the kids, what's not. And hey, who knows? Coach Vonner may find something that even Coach Ingram hadn't found, and he said, "Hey, me being this way is working. I'm not gonna change much at all. I'm gonna stay, kind of in your face kind of coach."
Right.
And I think the fans were okay with that the other night.
They were.
The game that I was at. I didn't get to go to the TCA game, but I saw the score, and it was a good win. But now going back
Great
to
win.
Dyersburg, kind of looking at this, where we lost that game was silly fouls in the end of that game.
Yeah, we just didn't have control of our emotions and ourselves there at the end when it
Yeah.
counted. Kind of let some things get away from us, and it's just these are 7th and 8th grade
That's
kids
right.
that sometimes let their emotions get the best of them.
Got to
So,
remember these are kids.
They are kids, and what we know and see from a fan standpoint, and even more so an adult standpoint,
Right.
sometimes they're developing that, and
Yeah.
they're needing some assistance, and they're needing to know what to do and what not to do. So
That's
we
right.
let that one slip away,
That's
and
okay. Yeah.
we're doing. I think the main lesson to be learned from that game is on any other occasion, I think we probably would have lost complete control.
Right.
I'll be honest with
Right.
you. With Coach Vonner, he has a demeanor about him to stay the course.
Yeah.
Like you said, much like Coach Ab, he kind of does a little similar coaching like Coach Ab, but not saying anything bad about Coach Ingram. Coach Ingram just knew those guys, and
Yes.
Coach Ingram knew what to do, when to do, and
That's right.
because he had that experience in that relationship. Coach Vonner is still kind of feeling his way through, but
Yes.
he does have a unique style about him that keeps the positive on the forefront.
Yeah.
And he keeps chugging away, and he relies on the hard work, and because we were without 2 starters.
That's
I don't know if you
right.
knew that.
Yes.
We were out 2 starters, and we won that game, and it was a game of just strategy. And I think it hats
Yeah.
off to our coach to implement adjustments that will get
Yeah.
you a win and cause you to be competitive that night without your 2 key players.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
tonight starts a 5-game road trip.
Oh, yeah.
A 5-game
5
road
games.
trip. And you have 2 of those 5 games that are district games.
Yes. We have Lake County,
Which
and
is
you
tonight.
have Halls, which is the 10th.
Yeah. So between now and next week, we've got 3 games. We have
Right.
tonight is Halls. We
Right.
have Monday night is at 3 Oaks, which is in the Dyer County, Dyersburg
Exactly.
area. Then you're at Halls.
Yes.
All right. So that's between now and next week. After that, you're wrapping up with at Bradford, and then you have at TCA. So with this road trip kind of mindset, now that later on means you're going to have a lot of home games.
Exactly.
But I was looking at the junior high schedule, and maybe you can bring a little more clarification to this.
Sure.
There, or maybe it's on the high school level. It seemed like there was 2 Christmas tournaments that ended up on a schedule. Maybe I think it's on the high school level.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm ahead
Sure.
of myself. But junior
okay.
high, how do you prepare those kids for that road trip? Thankfully you have some home time. You're not just all out there on the road.
Right. Well, I tell you what, you really got about 3 home games in a row after you go on that 5-game road trip. That's almost
Right.
like a professional schedule.
Yeah.
And what I like to do, and I'll tell you what my stepdaughter says.
Okay.
She said, "Coach, I'd rather play away." I don't know why. It's something, the pressure of playing at home
Yeah.
for a kid like her that it brings to the table that she's a little uncomfortable with.
Sure.
So
Hey.
she's geared up for the long haul to go on the road.
Yeah.
And me personally, as an athletic director and in being a former coach, I use a little bit more direct adjusting and a little bit more just being direct in general when I'm on the road, because it
Sure.
takes a little more focus. And
Yeah.
I think kids kind of pick up on that.
Yeah.
And they tend to go along with you when they're on the road, because
Yeah.
when they're at home, there's the distractions of mom bringing you food,
Yeah.
leaving school, socializing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that you can do to be distracted when you're at home, whereas when you're on the road, coaches have a little bit more streamlined schedule to get you in their room, to feed you, to look at a little film, to have a little
Sure.
wind down time,
Sure.
and then have a little focus time before the game. And it's just a difference. As you
Yeah.
said, it's just a big difference. And I think the home stretch versus the away stretch, I think will be we won't lose anything. I think our production will be
Awesome.
probably better over the next 5 days. And when we
All
come
right.
home, we'll have to readjust and get used to being home. So
Yeah.
the mindset on that, I guess, Seth, if I had to answer your question, is I like the focus that it takes, and the coach being making the adjustment to be a little more intentional when you're on the road, because there's a little more things you have to take care of regarding your student athletes. And when you're at home, you kind of a little more relaxed, because the environment dictates that you're relaxed because you're at home. So it's kind of a two-edged sword there.
So we've kind of talked through that schedule for junior high, November 3rd, November 7th,
Right.
November 10th. You've got at Lake County, at Three Oaks, at Halls. If you want to see the entire schedule, go to hcsvikings.org.
Yes,
Everything
sir.
is there. Let's swap over to high school
Let's look at a
basketball.
little high school
High school
basketball.
doesn't start till November 21st with their
Yes.
opening game. Now, we did not do Hall of Fame games this year.
No.
And that was all because we're trying to prepare way. We are believing this football team is going to get on track. And
Right.
we're setting some precedents for years following. Here's what
I
we're
agree.
doing.
Yeah, we thought, and we had plans for our football team to be in the playoffs, and that's why we didn't do any Hall of Fame games. But nevertheless, it's probably going to follow suit next year as well.
Yeah.
But we're going to go on the road to November the 21st to Gibson County, and that's boys only. I want to let the
That is right.
listeners know that that's boys only. And then we come back that next night, the 22nd, and it will be against Sacred Heart, and that'll be boys only, because Sacred Heart girls, I think I've been told that they do not have a girls team due to lack of numbers.
Okay.
So you're going to have two boys games that night.
So
That
the
week.
girls-
Excuse me.
Man, the girls got an extra little bit on the off season here.
Right.
And that's going to basically start them, November 25th? then?
Yes,
Is
going
that-
to start the girls November the 25th
So
against
Westview?
the powerhouse, Westview.
Yeah,
At
so-
12 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a Saturday. I mean, that's a Friday, and we're
So they're
out of
gonna do it
school.
at 12 p.m. on Friday.
Actually, that may be a misprint.
I was
That may
gonna
be a
say,
misprint. I think
wow.
that's 6 o'clock. That's a 6 o'clock start,
Okay.
Seth, and we'll get that fixed as well.
Okay.
And that's why we don't, because that game was just added, and I don't think we
Oh,
changed the.
okay.
I don't think we changed
That's
the
okay.
time on that.
Yeah.
So let
Wow.
us tweak the schedule.
Yes, sir.
Get some. We had some additions. We had some teams that we had played last year that didn't play us this year, and though that being West Carroll, Haywood County. We're not playing Haywood this year.
Oh.
Not playing West Carroll. Just a couple of things that we're tweaking. I don't think we're playing Bradford this year, and we played them last year.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about those tournaments that we brought up a while
yeah,
ago.
sure.
I noticed some extra tournaments on there. Can you walk us through, kind of
Let me
what
do
that
that.
looks like?
Let me do that. When we start in Tuesday, December the 27th through the 29th, that's a Dyersburg Christmas tournament.
Yes.
Tournament. That's our girls only.
That's the
But
girls.
when you look at the junior high schedule, it's also on here. We're also the 27th through the 29th. That's junior high girls. We'll go to Dyersburg and we'll play those two games in different gyms.
Ah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's Coach Strayhorn at Dyersburg. He was at Three Oaks and he's moved to Dyersburg, And now he's running a tournament, junior high in one gym and high school in the other gym.
Okay.
So we are don't be flattered by that.
Yeah.
We're are confused by that. We're going to be in a different location if you're junior high versus high school in the main gym. So we'll have 2 different locations, same campus.
Sure.
So we don't have to worry about running all over the place. It will take place at Dyersburg High School, one in the main gym, one in the auxiliary gym.
And that is a nice campus.
Yeah,
like you
very
can
nice
actually,
campus.
I mean, it's all under one roof.
Right.
You could walk between games.
You can, and you can see the Vikings, Lady Vikings. That is, like I said, girls only.
Yeah.
And we do have, though, our girls are going to the Dyersburg Jamboree.
Yeah.
So we do have that schedule as well, and I'm going to look that up because Coach Reed sent me that schedule, and I'll let you know when we play in that Dyersburg Jamboree as well.
So Coach Reed, who is his assistant this year again?
Coach Reed's assistant is Stephanie Williams.
Okay. Yeah.
She was
she was there last year.
Yep.
So no changes as far as high school
there.
Okay.
And we're continuing to keep that coaching staff consistent.
It's fantastic.
And the more stability we can provide, the better off we are.
That's right.
We're trying to do a good job of keeping that one consistent here.
Yes, sir. Definitely so.
So as I look up the tournament here, the Jamboree here, I'm thinking I may not have it on here.
Okay. Well, it's fine.
We'll
get it out there.
We'll get it out there. But they
have signed up for a Jamboree early in the season to kind of get them going, and that's good because of the late start.
Exactly. And I might can pull it up here, Seth. On
okay. And like I said, folks, we're going to do more talking about this schedule as we go. If you want to see the full schedule, you can go to hcsvikings.org. It will continuously be updated there as changes are made. We're just going to try to cover between shows for the most part each week. That'll keep our time to where it needs to be. This is going to be a little longer show tonight because we missed a few weeks.
Yeah, I appreciate all the listeners, too, because
that's right.
Hadn't been out there for a while, but we're back on the scene, and we're going to make sure we get you the information you need.
That's right. And as he looks up there, we're going to thank again one more time our Viking Booster Club. We're about to wrap this show up. We're going to get some information here, but thank you to Chance, the Viking Booster Club, for all that they do. And looks like you're pulling us some information here about this Jamboree.
Okay, the Jamboree will be on Saturday, November the 12th.
All right, that's a week from this Saturday.
A week from this Saturday. We will be in competition against Obion Central, and we'll play at 2:45.
All right.
So that'll be girls only in the 8th Annual Sonic Basketball Jamboree held at Dyersburg High School.
All right.
Saturday, November the 12th, the Lady Vikings will play at 2:45, and they will play Obion Central, girls only. So come out and support our girls. Our guys didn't go to that tournament, but we will make sure that we are accounted for, and we can get off to a good start on our girls' schedule and our girls' game, and we're excited about that.
Sounds good. And one more thing, we've talked schedule, we've talked coaching staffs. Not a lot of turnover in rosters on either side, really.
Not at all. We're still consistent with our roster. Just wanted to go over a few things with our girls and our boys.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about our senior high varsity basketball team of boys. I want to give everybody a little known fact.
All right.
We have no seniors.
I was going to say, I'm looking over here.
No seniors.
No seniors. The
None.
Closest to a senior you have would be 4 juniors.
Exactly, 4 juniors. And the rest of it is sophomore, freshman.
Good night, Nelly. That is.
that's the first. This is my.
So you won't have senior night.
No,
no
senior
not
night
for the boys.
Right. And with our girls, we have no seniors as well.
Whoa.
No seniors so far.
So you
as
just
well.
honor the band at night?
So I guess we'll have to do
band and cheerleaders. You'll have some cheerleaders probably.
Now we do have seniors for cheerleaders.
Okay.
So we will.
So they get a special night.
Yeah, they do. They'll get a special night. And
wonder if it'll be easier to keep your kids focused on senior night.
It might be, I tell you, because it's not. It's not.
Don't get used to it, because next year you got a bunch. Hey,
we'll have a lot then. But man, it's always a pleasure. I appreciate you. Apologize to the listeners if I seemed a little scattered with my information. some information I do have in my head, and I think it's accurate. But until I go back and I can get it down and look at it on paper and really be able to roll it out, then we will not, put it out until we know it's exactly the way it should be printed and posted, and we get you accurate information.
Sounds good, George.
The one thing I didn't mention that I want to mention is coming up. That's the Veterans Day ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do that because our school is involved in that heavily, Seth.
Okay.
That's going to be at our high school.
It's going to be at the high school this year.
Well, the parade is downtown, but it's several events occurring.
Okay.
I was writing on the back of it.
So they're not doing it at the church this year?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
We're going to have a couple of things going on. They're going to have Friday, November the 11th. They're going to have the parade downtown at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Then they're going to have the program in the chapel after the parade.
Okay.
And then at Barker Memorial Stadium is at our high school. They'll have a helicopter display at our high school football field from 11:15 to 12:30. And what they are naming that is a static display. That'll be the Tennessee Army Air National Guard. Will land a Black Hawk helicopter down, and we will honor the military from our school standpoint. And we will have a guest speaker talking about the history of the Black Hawk helicopter and have a little short ceremony there. And this all is put on by the Humboldt Exchange Club community. Miss Eleanor Blankenship has played a very important part in keeping me connected and communicating with me, so we could actually have the ceremony with the Black Hawk helicopter landing on our football field, and our students, our high school students, will actually be able to view that and see how that happens. And I'm excited about that. We'll have a little ceremony out there. Honor our staff who are military.
Okay.
And we're just going to have a good time on November the 11th.
Wonderful.
Want to make this announcement. We are in school November the 11th.
Okay.
I know many school districts are out, but we are in school that day. We will honor our veterans, and we will have a short program on our football field from 11:15 to 12:30. The community is invited to attend as well, and we look forward to that day.
Wonderful. Also, one of our sponsors, Humboldt Public Library, looks like they're going to be having a display as well that day. Actually, it will be starting November 7th, and it will run into December. Okay. So you want to make sure you go down there as well. Thank you so much, George.
Yes, sir.
We've done it.
Thank you. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to getting back on track with this and get my ducks in a row so we can, as I said, roll out the proper information for our listeners.
Sounds good. Thank you for watching Viking News on Demand. This is the School News Show. This is November 3rd, and hopefully those Vikings have pulled off a victory by now. That's what we want.
Go Vikings.
We'll be talking next week again. God bless you. Have a great rest of your night.